Mark, the third quarter, again, your team comes out of the locker room and plays with just great precision and energy. How much of that is the internal standard that these guys have kind of a calibration that they can hit and find that throughout the course of a game?
Yeah, I thought tonight, I thought the third quarter was the difference in the game against Minnesota. I thought tonight the difference was actually the second quarter. We went down 16 at the beginning of the second, and the group that went down 16 course corrected. It was AJ, Dub, Kaysen, K-Rich, Hart, and those guys kind of just got it going, and they were able to cut into that and make it a more manageable game. And then with 2 minutes to go in the first half, we were down 8 or 9 points, and we closed the quarter the right way with that group. And we go into halftime down 4, and now all of a sudden you play well at the beginning of the third, and you have a lead 2 minutes in. If you go to halftime down 20, it's a much different tone of the game, and it's a much bigger hole to climb out of. So tonight I was actually more impressed with our resolve when things weren't really going well. The scoreboard wasn't in our favor, the momentum wasn't in our favor, but those that chip away mentality, you need that when you're not playing well, and I thought the second quarter is what really won us the game tonight.
To win 13 straight games at this level requires a consistency that's very difficult to reach. What is it that you've seen that's allowed this team to not be just completely flat one night or have like a dud during the stretch?
I mean, anything like that, you stack up to it, so that's really, it's possession after possession, day after day, and then sometimes you look up and you've won a certain amount of games in a row. But, we don't look at that things in totality. It's just you keep stacking and you just play the possession in front of you. You attack the day in front of you. You play the game in front of you, and you see where that takes you. And if it takes you to a winning streak, it does, and sometimes it doesn't, and you got to persist. But we just want to be, handling what's right in front of us.
Mark, that number 13 straight, obviously a franchise record. There's been some great teams here. For you to be, part of history, Thunder history in that way, does that mean anything to you?
Only the respect we have for the teams, ahead of us. We, the teams that have been ahead of us have set a great standard that we have high respect for. But we're not sitting there counting records or counting winning streaks. Like I said, we're just attacking what's right in front of us. We did a great job of that today with our preparation in the game. We're going to wake up tomorrow. We have a 0-game winning streak tomorrow, and we have to get ready to play a really, really good team that's also playing very well right now.
Jalen Williams hit a couple of layups, come out right in the third quarter. Was that just how it worked out? Was there some intention to kind of get him going or whatever in the third quarter?
Those 3 plays were all him and Hartenstein. The first 2 were Hartenstein in a drop attack, the way that the Clippers were playing them, screening his own man and getting Jalen a layup. And the third one, Hartenstein got it on a get and dropped it off to J. Dub. And I think the chemistry that they've developed together through film and practice and the games, kind of showed up in that little string as well as other times this season. But that's really what it was. When I saw those 3 plays, I thought of, the development of the team and the development of our system and the development of those 2 guys working together to solve problems and create advantages.
Mark, just kind of on a similar note, when Dub and Hartenstein share their starting lineup together versus starting the second or the fourth together, is there a difference in expectations for them and what their connection can be, and does that maybe benefit or contribute to their connection at all overall?
Well, they're out there together a lot. That would be the only thing that contributes to their connection. But we look at it in terms of 5 guys. So the 5 guys that start the game have a responsibility to get us off to a nice start. The 5 guys that start the second quarter have a responsibility to get us off to a nice start there. And then, like I said to Nick's question, that group to start the second tonight, we got into a 16-point hole, and they collectively kind of solved that problem together. But it was 5 guys. It wasn't 2.
You talk about course correcting a lot. In those moments, is it you and the coaching staff trying to get them back on track? Is it them just correcting themselves as a mix of both?
If our standards are clear, it should be assumed. No one should have to say anything. If you have to say something, then your standards don't speak for themselves. And so we're obviously talking. They're talking internally, but I think everybody collectively knows when we're not where we want to be. And in an 82-game season, in a 48-minute game that have 100 possessions in it, you're not going to be in a perpetual state of the standard we want to play to. But if that standard is clear, then everyone kind of knows what it is, and we can all rally around that when we're not where we want to be.
This is another game where HA had multiple, trips to the free throw line. He's been really good as a driver. What have you seen that's made him so good in that area?
He came in with that skill. He's got kind of a unique ability to get to spots on the floor with he's shifty, he's crafty, he's got a good handle, he's a great finisher. I thought he made great passes tonight. Not all of them went in, or not all of them were shots, but he created a lot of advantages for us. And now the game's slowing down for him. He's gaining confidence. His teammates have given him a lot of confidence. And to his credit, through all the ups and downs of a rookie season, he stays very steady and plays at a very consistent level on both ends of the floor. And therefore, that's the best way to improve, is that kind of even temperament.
Kayson's also found success in the starting lineup, and tonight gave you a punch off the bench. What kind of luxury is that to have a guy who can do both?
Well, it's more, it's a luxury to be able to have multiple guys that can start. You can put Wiggs in the starting lineup, Isaiah Joe in the starting lineup, and really not worry about how you're going to get off to a start. You're just doing what you think is best in that game. I thought Wiggs helped us at the beginning. We got off to a decent start. And then, Kayson, the way they used Powell, having the defensive punch off the bench, we thought was a good idea. And he was great again tonight.
Mark, Shea and you all have seen so many different ways teams try to deal with him. They seem to top lock him a lot early. What'd you make of the way he just cut back door, didn't try to force his way to get the ball? I know that's nothing new, but just, again, doing it in another situation.
Yeah, when they're just hell-bent on keeping him off that, you want him to take cuts, and having guys like Hartenstein and Jay Will, who are willing and capable passers from that spot, gives him confidence that if he cuts and he's open, he's going to get the ball, which is a good thing. And, he's allowed the game to come to him with all these different coverages. I mean, every team's going to try to throw something with the way he's playing. Everybody's going to try to throw something at him to try to throw him and us off rhythm. But there's only so many things you can do, and he's seen a lot of the pictures, and he's learned that you can live to fight another possession. You don't have to force it on this possession right now or in this part of the game right now. And I think that's been one of the silent impressive things about this run by him, is he's had a great run offensively, but it hasn't been by force. He's really allowed it to unfold, and yet he's still able to get his stuff because of the way we're playing collectively.
Anyone else for Coach? Yeah. Go ahead, Myron, you can have the last line.
You got a stretch of games here. You got the Knicks here, then there. You got Cleveland next week. You got Boston Sunday. The record says you're good. But
yeah.
This stretch of games, you're looking kind of forward to see what you learned, and maybe some things about your team maybe that you don't know. I mean, this is tough competition.
Yeah, I mean, every game presents a different challenge, and you can only play the game that's right in front of you. But we like the idea of playing against the best teams, throwing their best punch, because it's a great opportunity for us to learn where we're at. That'll expose any holes we have or any slippage, and that's how you get better. And so you get better by taking on the challenge in front of you, throwing your best punch at it, learning from it, applying the lessons moving forward, and doing that over the course of 82 games. And that's how you improve through the season. That's certainly our goal.
Thank you, Coach.
Yep, thanks.